Join the Augusta Metro Chamber and Ameris Bank on Thursday, November 16th as we explore the art of achieving work-life symphony with Amy, founder of Richardson Professional Solutions. This event is free for members. Register online at augustametrochamber.com.
Thanks for watching News 12 on your side.
Live from Augusta, you're watching News 12 at 6 o'clock.
For the third time in 3 years, an apartment went up in flames, but the complex is no stranger to code enforcement issues. We dig deeper next.
But first tonight, we've got a chilly and rainy weekend ahead, and the wet weather has forced the Columbia County Fair to close up shop for the night as we check in with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale.
Yeah, guys, definitely a wet Friday evening towel to wipe off the bleachers. Most spots have seen at least a light shower so far today. And bring the umbrella as well. You could see some more rain during game time, and temperatures will be cooling off into the 50s by the fourth quarter. Here's a current look at our radar network. Everything we're seeing is very light, so we're not expecting heavy rain. Luckily, not expecting thunderstorms, but just kind of the nuisance showers that will get you wet if you're not prepared. This front is going to bring us that cooler weather this weekend. Also, a lot more rain in store heading into tomorrow morning. This is what radar is expected to look like early tomorrow to start off our Saturday, and then it doesn't really let up most of the day. We'll have a look at this weekend for you coming up in just about 10 minutes.
The Red Cross is helping 5 families figure out their next steps after a fire at the Azalea Park Apartments this morning. Augusta Fire says 8 units were impacted by the blaze over there, and tonight we're looking deeper into these previous issues that have plagued that complex.
Audrey Dickerber joins us in the studio. Audrey.
This is not the first time a fire has happened at this complex. This is actually the third time in the last 3 years. Last year, our team found out about more than 200 code violations against the apartment complex. Some of the past fires even led to the buildings being condemned. Red Cross told me this isn't the first time they've responded to a fire here, and they were there again last night helping 5 families.
6 unit that was affected. But that person was not available, and then 2 units were vacant. So we met with about 16 individuals total. We were able to provide them with assistance, comfort kits, blankets, and then they will be assigned a caseworker to assist them in their recovery.
When I asked Azalea Apartments about the fire, they told me in a statement they have newly renovated apartments to put the families in, and they are also taking donations for the families and their kids and families who lost everything. We are working to get more information about the cause of this latest fire, and we'll update you once we find out more.
Please do. We've just learned there's been an arrest in that case. Audrey, thanks for the update there. Nearly 2 weeks after escaping, a Jefferson County inmate is back in custody tonight. Richard Sawyer Jr., arrested in Pooler, that's just outside Savannah. Authorities recovered the road grader stolen by Sawyer on the 2nd. It was recovered in Bloomingdale, which is near Savannah, and about 100 miles away from where Sawyer disappeared.
Just into the newsroom in the last 30 minutes, the Richmond County Sheriff's Office has arrested and charged a man after a deadly house fire this morning in Augusta. 31-year-old Ricky Cooper is charged with murder and arson. The fire broke out this morning on Huntington Street. The Richmond County coroner says the victim in that fire is 34-year-old Luis Gonzalez. He was homeless and found inside of that burning building by fire crews. 2 Augusta firefighters were also hurt during that fire. One got a burn on his forearm. The second firefighter was burned on his legs. It's the start of Veterans Day weekend, and tonight we are highlighting a local horse rescue helping to heal our heroes struggling with PTSD. As City Hood shows us, the rescue started to help horses, but it soon transformed into a different life-saving mission.
Ruby here meets people every single day at Equine Rescue. Her soft touch and gentle demeanor help people to open up. And she's a big girl, but the smiles she brings every single day are even bigger. We can't force a bond.
Okay, listen.
But once it happens, it's hard to break.
It's more of a, I guess, a spiritual connection.
A special connection.
I feel welcome.
No doubt.
Something unique about all of them.
With one thing in common.
They seem to have a sense as to what's going on with you as a person.
It's a mutual relationship.
They can feed off of that, and in turn they make you feel better being around them.
They did that for Russ Miller, for James Jacob.
You guys are awesome.
and Joe Cruz.
It was his safe place, his quiet place.
We introduced Joe and his wife Nancy to you earlier this year.
He would come out here and just decompress and relax and bond with the horses.
He found all of that through Equine Rescue's Trust and Release program.
I brought him out here, and I don't think that he knew he would have the experience that he did, and pretty soon it wasn't me asking him to come out, he was wanting to come out every day.
Until the day he died.
I think it was a purpose that he had. He felt like he had a job to do with the horses.
It helped him with PTSD.
The horses out here help people more than we help the horses, but
making life a little more stable. In Aiken, Sydney Hood, on your side.
Such a wonderful program out there. We're so grateful they let us take a look around. New in the last hour, the grand opening date for the new Junior Achievement Discovery Center coming to Columbia County has been released. According to the Columbia County Board of Ed, regular session agenda for the 14 opening days is January 11th. Crews broke ground on that project a little earlier this year. The goal is to allow students to learn real-life learning skills, which is something leaders have been working hard to bring here. So a lot of financial, real-world skills.
It'll be great to see it. Well, there's no better way to kick off Veterans Day weekend, this kind of hometown surprise. Redcliffe Elementary in Aiken County posting these touching photos on their Facebook page. After spending the last year away from his family and serving our country as a Marine, Aiken County native Lance Corporal Sage Hales returned to his roots for a very special visit. As Hallie Turner shows us, he got a chance to speak with the ones who love him most.
Usually surprises in the cafeteria aren't this sweet.
I was just about to eat one of my cupcakes when Miss Drake came in, and that's when I saw him out of the corner of my eye and jumped up.
Her little sister, even more surprised at who was under that fancy uniform.
I just stared, and I didn't know who he was at the first, because he didn't have his hat on.
There stood their uncle, Sage Hales, who spent the last year serving in the Marines.
He just always wanted to be in the military, and he wanted to do the Marines to make my grandpa proud, and I'm 100% sure he did.
Cecilia says when her brother left last October, the kids took it hard.
They will blow his phone up and FaceTime him, and if he doesn't answer, he's going to answer because they won't stop.
When the window to come home opened, she says her brother knew where he wanted to be.
About a month ago, I told him, I was like, I kind of want to surprise the kids. He said, okay. He said, I agree. He said, I do too.
After this visit, Hale's sister says he's set to deploy for the next 3 years, but he will ship out with memories of a homecoming surprise of a lifetime.
I love you, Uncle Sage.
In Aiken, Hallie Turner, on your side.
And get this, he's cramming a lot into a short leave. He left the kids' school to head out for his honeymoon. He got married in September over a Zoom call, so they have a lot to catch up on.
Yeah, his sweetheart from Aiken, so yeah, best of luck to them, and of course, thank you for your service.
He is the cool uncle in that family, no doubt. The high school football playoffs are raging on across the two-state. Our Under the Lights coverage continues after the break by highlighting the Strom Thurmond Rebels and our game of the week.
And take a jacket if you are heading out to those football games, a rain jacket at that. We are expecting a chance for rain tonight and lasting through the entire weekend. Full look at that forecast coming up.
Now, your first alert weather with Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale.
Old store by next Wednesday.
Thank you, Riley. Our local Georgia high school football teams are joining the postseason party tonight, while 7 of our local South Carolina teams are still representing the CSRA in round number 2. Let's continue tonight's playoff coverage by heading over to Johnston, South Carolina for our Under the Lights game of the week. News 12's Alyssa Lyons joins us live from Strom Thurmond High School ahead of the Rebels' second round showdown with the Keenan Raiders.
Well, Dan, you just missed it. Strom Thurmond was out here doing some pregame warm-ups, and Keenan has just arrived to their side of the locker room. And while nothing is falling from the sky, a storm is surely brewing here at Strom. It's almost a controlled copy-paste situation. They faced Keenan in the second round of the playoffs at home last year. Back then, they were riding a 9-game win streak. Keenan made it number 10. Fast forward to now, the Rebs are riding a 6-game win streak. Not only that, but they've kept a good chunk of the same guys who laid down that 21-6 win last year over the Raiders, and they'll rely on them again tonight to repeat their luck.
Right now, this team's playing at a high level. We have great chemistry.
Probably the senior leadership. Our captains is led by our seniors. They lead by examples, but they're also vocal compared to other teams that I've coached.
I thought it was really interesting. Coach Hayes said that this is one of the most laser-focused teams that he's ever been a part of. They have extreme discipline and effort, and that's what it takes to win at this time of year.
Alyssa, as we know, this team is loaded with talent, and with the competition getting better and better, where the Reps playoff run continues, it'll be fun to see how they respond out there on the field tonight. Stick around, because our Under the Lights coverage continues after this quick break.
Sooner I'll start fighting for you.
On your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
Every high school athlete dreams about having the opportunity to host a playoff game, a match, or a tournament in front of their home fans. Due to the ongoing construction of their new field, Aquinas has basically played the entire season on the road. News 12's Nick Veland joins us live from Greenbrier High School, where the region champion Fighting Irish will be kicking off their postseason tonight against the Glasscock County Panthers.
Yeah, Dan, right now there isn't any rain, but instead high hopes are in the air as Aquinas and Glasscock County will look to start their playoff runs tonight. Aquinas last week won their region championship, and this week Glasscock County will have their first playoff game in school history. Head coach with Aquinas, James Leonard, says that his guys like to play fast with a give-and-go mentality. Glasscock County, Chris Kelly, says that his team moves slow and likes to eat up clock. Two different ways, but both effective, and both coaches say that they have to limit both sides of the ball tonight in order to win.
Kind of the opposite. We're throwing it around trying to score as fast as we can. So, we need to, when we get the ball, take advantage of our possessions, and defensively we can't let them sit out there and chew out the clock all night.
We're a ground and pound and eat up clock. They definitely want to, they're going to get to the line, they're going to check, and they're going to see what you're giving them, and they're going to try to take advantage of it.
And kickoff for this game is just around the corner. We'll have highlights from this game and more tonight at 11.
Well, thank you, Nick. And as everyone knows, the playoffs are a great opportunity for teams, schools, players, coaches, and everyone else involved to make a name for themselves. And we should have a really good one on our hands tonight out there at Greenbrier. One of the best things about high school football is the connection, the passion, and the love teams receive from their fans this time of the year. News 12 Will Volk helps us shine a giant spotlight on why high school football means so much to the community of Blackville-Hilda.
What a turnaround for Blackville-Hilda. Last year, they were 2-8. Right now, they're 9-2, getting ready to host a second-round playoff game. And for a town like this, a season like this means so much.
Football, everything. Friday night, ain't nothing else to do down here. We'll come to the football games.
Want to know what football means to Blackville? Just look at the water tower. Or ask around.
That's what they really breed down here. Football, football, football.
I cut some of their hair, and the boys come in here, they tell me how it's going with the coaches and the team. And they're just so upbeat about the game, and I just love them.
They care about it. They're passionate about it. And when things are going well, they're very, very supportive. If you don't make a call they like, they'll let you know that as well.
Coach Kevin Jones's team is giving them a lot to cheer about. He says the turnaround started over the summer.
The kids really dedicated themselves. We're a small school. We have less than 160 total students in our whole school. So we probably have less than 80 boys in our whole school. Yet we had many days upwards to 50 showing up in the summer.
We've been putting a lot of work. Last year, we weren't really dedicated. But this year, we've been really locked in and said we got to turn around and have a great year.
And a great year is what they've had. From 2-8 to 9-2 and hosting a second-round playoff game.
We're going to give y'all all our support, and we're going to win.
Go Hawks.
I'm proud of my team and the boys, what they have done this year. So let's see who you get the state. Go Hawks.
As we close in on kickoff for this one, this is a rematch of a regular season game that Blackville-Hilda won 34-8, but it was a one-score game in the third quarter. I'll be here shooting highlights tonight, and we'll have them for you at 11.
Thank you, Will. We'll have the stories, the highlights, and the scores from all of the playoff madness tonight at 11 o'clock on the newest edition of Under the Lights.
Looking forward to it, Dan. Thanks so much. Nurse Practitioners Week starts Sunday, and most people don't even realize what all they do in the medical profession. I sat down with Monica Edenfield, a nurse practitioner who works in our area, for this week's one-on-one.
And nurse practitioners, we can see pediatric patients, we can see postpartum patients, moms, those sort of things. And those are the things that nurse practitioners can do that most of us are passionate about. We're passionate about improving the overall health of the community that we serve.
And you can watch our full interview this Sunday morning at 6 and 7 a.m. and then online after that on Wrdw.com. Just click the one-on-one tab there.
And heading into our Veterans Day weekend, we are expecting a good bit of rainfall both Saturday and Sunday, and much cooler temperatures, only reaching the 50s the next couple of days. Now look at that 7-day forecast just after the break.
Tune in Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 to see if you're a winner.
On this
Sunshade at Wrdw.com. Tune in Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 to see if you're a winner.
On this Friday night, we go on the road to honor those who served. How one family is bringing joy to Veterans Day with a special tradition that's keeping the memory of one soldier alive. That and more headlines tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Well, live look outside of our building, and if you were watching our newscast earlier into the day, we actually had a pretty bad accident on I-20 westbound lane near exit 200. Looks like they've cleaned that up. Traffic moving okay here near the state line, so if that commute takes you that way, no longer a big slowdown here. 67 degrees if you are stepping out. Temps will actually be falling into the 50s over the next couple of hours, and then we should stay in the 50s pretty much all weekend long. Here's a look at our day planner over the next couple of days. Saturday, we should stay steady, mid-50s most of the day, and then Saturday night into Sunday morning will fall into the upper 40s. Each day we got pretty high rain chances starting early in the morning. We should be able to see this rain exit though as we get closer to sunset on Sunday, but if you have outdoor plans, you may want to have a plan to bring those on inside. Here's a live look over Sanford Stadium. They got a big game there this weekend as well. Current temps in Athens at 66, and they got it lit up red tonight, looking good out there. Big game tomorrow against Ole Miss, and I would imagine if you are heading up to Athens, it's going to feel just the same. 50s with good steady rain, cool, cloudy, and a little bit breezy at times with the northeast wind. So definitely pack the poncho if you're planning to head up to the game tomorrow night. That rain will be found up there in Athens as well. Here's looking at 7-day forecast. We do bring back some drier weather early next week, but more rain moves back in by next Wednesday.
We are live again at the top of the hour over on NBC 26.
Then we're back with more News 12 tonight at 11 and Under the Lights.
At the CBS Evening News, we focus on solutions, finding solutions to help people understand what are the right choices to make for you and your family.
At Lionel